One of the interesting developments in using a webcam for oil portraiture is the way the usual power dynamics have shifted. I've painted in people's homes before, and I've had sitters come into the studio, but in both cases, somebody is on unfamiliar ground. In quarantine portraits, both parties are on home ground. People seemed comfortable being at home amongst their own things, and I think it's important for people to feel comfortable when they're having their portrait painted. They're more themselves. And compared with in-person sittings, they had more control over what I could see. They could be very selective and edit what they showed me. In some cases, sitters arranged their clothing and background to tell us more about themselves. So for example, XAVIER here, chief curator of the Frick collection in New York, has pieces from his art collection in his background. And in fact, one of them is one of my proudest achievements, Hudson, painted while I was in New York a few years ago. In Jamie's portrait, we see the LGBTQ+ flags flying proudly behind her, and her cat River, who joined in the session at the end, wanting to be part of the action. And on the final portrait, number 40, my husband Jimmy directed his webcam into my workspace, catching me mid-portrait, in a little homage to Velázquez. When asked, I encourage sitters to wear bright colors or include natural elements in their backgrounds, even if just seen through a window. I know these things have an effect on my mood. So here in Vancouver, we have Hilary with her hydrangeas and her daughter Isabella in lush verdant greenery and a redwood, one of my favorite trees in the world. And I was careful to capture the atmospheric conditions in Puerto Rico when painting Maria, Cecilia, and Elena in front of their sun-filled patio. In this portrait, Alice is seen in front of a large window, a cloudless spring sky, and the English countryside rolling away into the distance. Which is ironic because on that day here in Barcelona, it was very dark and rainy, and I know that this sunshine lifted my spirits. It's interesting to see what effect these choices have on the portrait, and ultimately on the viewers.